This Tacos broadcast is brought to you by Promo Flash email broadcasts from Promo Corner. An email broadcast from Promo Corner gets sent to Promo Corner's distributor database housed on promocorner.com and included in daily and weekly digest emails. Flyers are customizable and end-user safe versions can be easily forwarded to clients or posted to your social media accounts. Track your results with real-time analytics. Contact sales at promocorner.com today to get started.
Hey, everybody. Happy Taco Tuesday. I hope you're having a fantastic week out there so far. I know we are here. We prepped for this show. We're ready for this show. We're bringing all the amazing epic branding here on Tacos Now. This is pre-recorded, but we will most likely be in the chat session live too. So if you've got something you want to say to us, go ahead and put in that chat session down below. But you're probably watching this over on Promo Corner's Facebook page, maybe Promo Show's Facebook page. Even though we're pre-recording it, you can still check it out. It's awesome. So this is Tacos Now with Jay and Jeff. Boys, how are we doing?
Woo! How are we doing? I'm like exhausted. I mean, where else is this thing going to be playing? It's on YouTube. It's going to somehow be on TikTok. It's going to be on, I don't even know, platforms I don't even know, because that's just how you rock. Come on, Brandon, please. You're killing it.
Well, you have to do something, man. All this social media stuff. And I think our guest today knows a little bit about social media.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Guess what? We're prepared.
Beginner.
Oh,
long-time listener, first-time caller.
That's even better. Jeff, what's going on? We got Jeff Solomon rocking.
Well, yeah. Hey, I am so excited about Tacos Now and our special guest, Taylor, who this is just going to be awesome. And yes, we are everywhere. And let's just jump right into the introductions.
Well, yeah, I need to give a proper intro.
It's going to be
Guys, we have to undersell and over-deliver here.
Oh, so we're hyping it. It's a little too hyped right now.
There's no pressure on Taylor delivering, but we know she will.
Take a breath, Jeff. Let's get this right. Taylor Borst is the director of all epic shit at American. Do you like that? Is that good?
I'm getting new business cards.
I would if I were you. So guess what? There's this cool company that some of you may know. Some of you probably have heard, American Solutions for Business, or ASB, as some of us like to say. Is that okay that we shorten it sometimes, Taylor, or will we put a timeout for that? No?
No, not at all. We would go crazy if we said the whole thing every time.
It's a little long. Yeah, it gets a little wordy. And I don't know, Brandon, if ASB would get us in a penalty box or taco timeout, but I like to say things and kind of shorten them down. And so Taco Tuesday is all about ASB, and it's all about epic Taylor Borst. You guys, this has like been months in the making. I mean, we had to talk to our agent. We had to get clearance from Zezos, from Zabadils. I mean, it's like, but then we did it.
I love it. And we've all got the tacos. So before we get there, like I said, we will be all over social media with this premiere. And we like to do a little something here on Tacos called Tacos Up. So let's go ahead and get those up for the gram.
Here comes Taylor. We're excited.
Yeah.
Show us that. Put that right up close so we can see that. That is amazing. I love it.
I made this myself. It says, talk about a great day.
That is going to be so fun. That's exactly what we're going to do. Right, Jeff?
Yes, we are. It's epic.
We're going to talk about.
I love it. And Jeff has started taking, because we're recording these, he started taking the pre-bite. And so I love that you try to ask him a question right after he takes the pre-bite.
I do every time. I see him take a bite. I'm like, what do you think about that, Jeff? Real fast. And he's like,
well, you guys, I am going to drop off here, but I am going to be monitoring those questions and everything over there on the, even though this is pre-recorded, we're still going to have those questions over there. I will be live on the day that this drops, which is Taco Tuesday, which is today, Tacos Now. So I'm going to let Jay and Jeff take it over from here, and I'll see you guys at the end.
This is obviously Tacos Now with Jay and Jeff. We're really lucky to have you, Taylor. Thank you so much, seriously, for taking the time. I know you have thousands of other things that you could be doing, but you chose to spend a little bit of it with two crazy guys that like talking about marketing and branding and purpose-driven promo, right? Sweet swag, creative, all of these things. And you are like going to be a rock star. So typically, Jeff, as you know, Taylor, you maybe don't, we like to highlight quickly just somebody's logo. And so in this case, obviously you're representing American Solutions for Business. Raise it up. I borrowed this from your Facebook page, I believe. And I think it is classic. I think it's fun. I think it's still approachable, and it doesn't feel too stuffy or too traditional. I don't know if that's right, but that's the vibe I get. What do you think about that?
If you're asking me, I couldn't agree more.
I am asking you, and I'm glad you agree. Jeff, what do you think? Have you got any words of wisdom for our audience? All 40, all 40 of them. I think we're up to 40s now, Jeff. We're in the 40s.
Your mom's inviting her friends from what, the card club or whatever.
Yep, they play bridge on Fridays, and this is one of those things. And Taylor's a rock star, so there could be a little TikTok washover, as we call it. But what do you think, Jeff? Any words of anything you got?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I have always thought, and because I'm out doing the whole free promo tips thing, I see a lot of the domains and the addresses and companies, and I've always just thought American Solutions for Business was just one of the greatest names ever. And yeah, ASB for short, but truly you're saying exactly what you do, and that's what I like. And forgive me for having a throat loss since I have a cough, and I thought it was the better choice than cough.
It's not a piece of taco that's wedged right there.
No, it is not.
Okay.
But anyway, that's my thought on. I just think it's a great name, and I've come to learn, seriously. I mean, I'm not joking about this. I love a tighter family held. I mean, we know a lot of the people there, and it's a good company. So American Solutions for Business, rah.
Taylor. There's
and so when we were founded in 1981, it was actually American Business Forms. So American started as a print company, and then when we sold to be an ESOP, employee-owned company, in 2000, changed the name to American Solutions for Business because we had grown into something that was so much more than just print. And so every single year we've built our promo sales, and we're up there. We're definitely growing, and we don't plan on stopping.
I love that. I love that rich tradition, the heritage, but I also love the fact that they've been able to find amazing employees with you and your crew. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but let's go to this next slide, because we were just talking about some of those aces. And I think, do you have to have a last name that starts with Z to be a rock star on this photo?
Is that you do? I mean, we've got Zavagil, we've got Zezo in there. Yeah.
All of that. And I always mispronounce the name. So you got to help us. You got to throw us a bone. How do we properly pronounce Justin?
Zavagil. And if it helps you feel any better, in my interview 6.5 years ago to be with this company, I said Zavagil, and I still think about it sometimes. But yeah, it's Zavagil.
Zavagil. I won't ever mess it up, and I just needed to have someone on the inside correct me. So I'm good with that.
I got you, Jay.
Thank you. I need all the help I can get. You know that. You've seen me in action. It's a mess up here. But guess what? This crew, as soon as I saw this photo, I was like, yes. No ties, not formal. These are like people I would want to hang out with. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, this is the vibe. This is the right vibe. This is so cool. And obviously there was some thought put to this, but it worked. Good on you guys.
I mean, they walked out of this photo and had a nice dinner together and went into a strategic meeting. So, it's not like they came down, took this picture, and changed into their formal attire. This is everything that they were wearing for that day. So yeah, we are extremely fortunate to have the senior leadership team that we have, and there is so much trust and so much talent in this one photo right here. It's really exciting to be at ASB right now.
Well, lest anybody think this is a full-scale commercial for ASB, it's not. We're really just. I know. We got to be fair to all of our audience. We have lots of folks from other groups, other private businesses, solopreneurs. So all of our promo family and swag sisters, they're all represented here. So guess what? This is really about you. And so I know you're going to be like uncomfortable because we're going to brag on you. We're going to shine the light bright. Guess what, Jeff? This is what epic branding looks like. And in this case, there happens to be a guest model in all of these shots. Some amazing shots from Instagram. Taylor, listen, you may not be super comfortable with this, but these are really, really good. So you should feel very comfortable and very proud. I love them.
Thanks, you guys. I mean, it's kind of funny seeing the photos in front of me here, but yes, we have Edna, my German short hair pointer. She ends up being in a lot of my content one way or the other. She makes a nice little buddy to have, especially over the pandemic. I used to leave to go to the office, but now I get to see what she's up to all all during the day. So I rope her into all sorts of things.
I love this. It's Halloween season, obviously. And so we've got unicorns and rainbows. And Edna is wearing it great. I mean, you know, like when they're on the red carpet and they say, who are you wearing? You can say, I'm wearing rainbow. So
yes, I'm wearing Target dog collection.
There you go.
That's what she
great.
would say.
But here's what's fun about these photos, Taylor, is that in so many of them, and I believe you plan this, and I hope you do really, is that you're embracing the apparel, or you're embracing the branded merch or swag or promo, whatever we want to call it these days. But yet you look so natural. I mean, you really do. You just look like you're doing your thing, having fun. It doesn't look too staged. And it looks also, I have noticed from some of the comments, your personality comes through on these. I love the way you position these. A little bit of sass, a little bit of snark, and it goes a long way with me. So I love it.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Obviously we are in the print and promo industry. And so much of what we do as a group every day is think about, well, how can we help customers understand the true value of promotional products, and how does it actually affect our lives, and how can we tell that story through the products that we use every single day? And so, instead of just taking a random photo, it is kind of fun to figure out how we can implement that into different points of contact.
Totally. Jeff, how many times have we had this discussion in the last year and a half about lifestyle shots, about not just saying, here's a sales flyer with 27 colors and 25 styles, and it's 99 cents on a C. It's like, if we see that one more time, it's just super lame. And so you going 180 degrees the other way is awesome. Jeff, right? We've had this conversation.
Yeah, it's so yesterday, and lifestyle shots are all the rage. And I think, you're effectively showing it there. And also, I think if you were probably to look across the board, I'm sure you're not the only one from your company, ASB, that's doing this kind of stuff. So it's really about showcasing the personality of people. This goes back to the olden days, okay? Back as I grew up, a line, Jay, you'll remember this line, people like to do business with people they know and that they like. And
that they trust, and people that eat tacos. I always add that on the end.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, yeah, it's not that old, but it's a classic line. And that's the thing, is what you're trying to do here is get people to know you and know your fun side, know your dog. I think anytime you can bring a pet in, I drag this pet that's under me up, but I'm just not going to do it because it's your show and not my dog show, because she'll steal it. But anyway, but that's my thoughts on that. I think this is what, and this might be the part in the show where I point it back to our audience and go, what are you conveying out there on social media? Are you posting that, here's 20 pins on a C, whatever it is, a sell sheet, or are you showing promo in action? Are you showing your life? And maybe you have to open up your life a little bit. Some people might not want to do that. And if they don't, they don't. That's, their call. But it's a new time, and how business is going to be done is new, and we're going to get to that in a little bit.
We are indeed.
And Jeff, you even said, I'm sure you're not the only one at ASB. That's exactly right. We are seeing so many of our sales associates also start to embrace this. So that has been just so fun over the last few years, just seeing that content come from them, watching their follower count grow, and really just creating a collaborative environment behind the scenes a little bit to help in whatever way that we can.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And again, I have to give a little shout out to the sass, to the snark, to the insider info of saying things like, single serving, you bet, if you eat it fast enough, or DM me for health tips while you're sitting in front of this whole coffee cake from who sent you that delicious
Maple Ridge Farms. They are so good to us.
Who doesn't love a great Maple Ridge Farms coffee cake, right, Jeff?
Yet another shout out to our friends at Maple Ridge Farms. In fact, I've got a package that just came over there. I'm afraid to even open it. I got to wait till after the weekend or something. I don't know.
Those aren't pet treats. Those are Jeff treats. And I think at this point, they're bribing you, Jeff. Let's just be real. I think we got to call it like we see it. But guess what? As awesome as Instagram is for you, I do want to see if I could get you to kind of tell us, is this something that you would say, and I don't know how to approach this, so I'm just going to kind of put it in my own bad way of doing things, which is old man Jay trying to figure out what the kids are doing these days. But I'm just curious where you were. So did you kind of feel like Instagram was your jam, and like that's where you're most comfortable on all of these platforms?
Oh, that's a good question, because I think at different points I would answer that a little differently. When it comes to just navigating Instagram, I would say yes, I think I'm most comfortable there. I feel like that's where most of my friends, my peers
Gotcha.
are.
Yep.
But when I'm trying to connect with maybe more of the industry, maybe more of our sales associates, like a wider reach, I tend to default to Facebook, since it ends up being the most common for
Right.
people to be on. So it really depends on what kind of content, what kind of message I'm trying to share from that perspective.
Love that answer. And Jeff, you're going to have to call my mom back later. She's probably excited about the show.
I don't know, it came up on my computer. Whatever.
She's like, make sure they're on time. He's got to pick me up soon. Okay. It's a running gag, Taylor. Sorry, we had to
sure.
cross that bridge. But I'm happy. I love the answer. I think that we kind of tend to go with what we know, right? And so for some folks, they don't know Instagram very well. They're not comfortable there, so it might be out of their comfort zone. But they could certainly do this on Facebook, right?
Oh, for sure. Yes. And I've seen many people do it extremely well on Facebook too. I think it's really just about figuring out where your comfort level really sits, and then putting yourself out there. I know at first it can feel kind of a little uncomfortable, or like, why would somebody want to see me over and over and over again? And sometimes it can just feel a little silly or self-serving or whatever that is. But really, I think if you look at it in a way that maybe you're being a little bit selfless, I know that it seems weird, but you're also just sharing a piece of yourself. You're being a little vulnerable, you're letting your guard down, and you're sharing a piece of yourself with other people who wouldn't normally have access to that. And I think that people look at it in the opposite way sometimes. They're like, nobody wants to see this. I'm just going to look silly, or I'm going to look like I'm obsessed with myself or whatever, when really what it is that you're opening your life up to other people in a time, especially over the pandemic, when a lot of people maybe needed that connection.
I love that. That's so smart. Words of wisdom, Jeff. Words of wisdom.
Not just a hat rack, Jay.
Thank goodness mine is. You can tell, because that's kind of usually what's up there. But that was such a great answer. So if I were new to ASB, do you and your team kind of help some of these business owners? How could you give me a tip? Let's say give me a tip on what would you say to do, and or if there's one or two tips. I don't know. If you only come up with one, we'll celebrate the one. Any advice?
Sure. So we've actually done quite a few things over the last year. From our perspective, we've partnered with a company called Social HP. It's kind of like Hootsuite, except it's from a master level. So our salespeople can grab that content that we post at the corporate level, and that our team loads into the back end to kind of help with that filler content. We have created little guides and mini social media challenges for the whole month. So throwing out different ideas, like find your favorite promo coffee mug and take a selfie with that on the first day of the month, or we've kind of like aligned it just with different ideas for what you can post. Also, if you maybe deliver something in person to a customer, I know that some people do like to go visit the customer or hand deliver a big order, or even just stop by to check it out. Take a selfie, take a photo of you on site.
Yes.
Get it in action. I think sometimes, especially with this industry and with other businesses, what happens is that we end up falling into this pit of jargon and fluff. When you go to a website and you read through it and you don't know what it is in the first 10, 20 seconds that you're on that website, it's starting to feel like a failure, right? Like it's
good point.
It becomes too disconnected. And so I think that the more that you can bring your life down to earth and explain to somebody, it doesn't have to be through one post, it can be through a series of posts what it is. So it's just kind of funny, even just considering my family or my close friends, it is funny to watch the progression of their understanding of what I do for a living slowly start to connect into something kind of on point. But totally, I think that we should all try to do that, right? Like, we don't have the luxury of saying that we're a nurse or a lawyer or a teacher. Like, that's one word explanation. If somebody asks any of us what we do for a living, you need like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, you need a well-tuned promo-mercial. But yes, you do. You need to kind of have your, in fact, somebody once told me like, oh, an elevator pitch. And I'm like, listen, in our industry, if that elevator doesn't go to the 30th floor, there's some people who still haven't finished, so love what you just said about kind of to the point. And maybe we say we're epic branders, or we come up with something that's original, but so smart of you. And I think that, I'm going to give credit to you and your team, because it's things like this that make a difference for all of your businesses, for everyone that's lucky enough to be associated with you and your team. Jeff, what have you got? You look like you're really thinking deep over there, man.
Well, I'm going, this is so deep. I better think something really deep to add to the conversation. No, so again, to our audience, I mean, we're putting a lot of love on ASB and the team and what you're doing, but this is the direction business is going. And I think that any business, whether you're an independent guy, affiliated with somebody, this is where it's at. And look at the winners, look who's, and it's not just Taylor, there are others. You can go troll around and see who's making a difference. Charity, Gibson, I don't want to start naming names, but people who are really, sharing, sort of epic content, marketing and branding and things that are happening in a different way. And the other thing I want to add, now I'm hardly a social media expert, but people should know that you can post on Instagram and it goes to Facebook. It's just almost like a one-step thing. So, if you're going to do it on Facebook, it's just as easy to do. Although Instagram is, of course, image driven, which is cool. People, hey, I like to look at the pictures. Give me a book, I need pictures, we all like to look at the pictures. And so if they're engaging and fun, pets are always a win. So, that's what I wanted to say is what I appreciate about this conversation is this is the new direction things are going. Either you're going to get with it the old way, the old sell sheet, or the old, you're going to have to be with the program.
It's a fail. I'm sorry. It was never very good. Let's just admit that. And then if you're still doing it, it's like, who's still selling on price, Jeff? Who are these people? Come on.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not Taylor, thank goodness. So we're not trying to alienate everybody. We're trying to elevate everybody.
Yeah, we're trying to show, hey, look, you can do this stuff.
And Taylor and her team have done it. And I can't wait to show you what's next, because Taylor, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is why we were so jacked up and laughing earlier, because we have so many great examples from what you've been doing recently on TikTok. Now, Jeff, TikTok, I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's called TikTok, and it's kind of a big deal. It's a new platform that all the kids are on. And
all the youngins.
Listen, Taylor, if it weren't for what you were sharing on your Instagram, I wouldn't even see them, because I'm not on TikTok. I don't have an account. Sorry. I know that probably shakes everybody.
Whoa, I'm stunned.
However, you were smart enough to be able to save those videos and share them in other locations, which I think is also a smart tip, because not everybody is on TikTok, right? So let's share a few of these. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to fall in love with this adorable person, Taylor Borst, and check it out, right? Look at that. I mean, Jeff, do I need to say anything more? Come on. Okay, so
is it time to put my camera off, Jay?
Yeah, I know we're gushing, and it's like, oh my gosh, 3 more photos, and everyone's going to be like, boy, these guys are like all in. We're having it's a celebrate Taylor day. But
I think I need to call you when I'm having a bad day, you guys.
We'll be your hype man. We'll be like, go, you got this. Okay, but seriously, these are so good. Now, the one in the middle is just a still shot, right? It's not the video, the one with you wearing the beanie. But you know why I like this, Taylor, is because you look natural. You look like you just jumped in the car, which we all do, by the way. You look like it's comfy, it's cozy, it's warm, and you have a really cool little shout out to your friends at Snugs. So even if it's industry call outs, I think that's smart. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing this to impress Snugs, but you're just reminding people, others that might watch it, this is where this came from. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Thank you for saying all of that. I think that so many of us live and breathe promo, right? If you're watching this, you are probably somebody who is
That's true.
Very centered to the industry. So, I mean, at any point, even if you just try to remind yourself once a day, I mean, try to take a photo with something that you are currently using or something that is a promo product, because we just live and breathe it. And the more that we can put that out there into the world, customers are going to see that, and they're going to start to understand the power of promo.
I love that. And there is power with this medium, and let's not forget it. And I think it's all of our jobs. That's really what we want to see. That's why this show works, is that we're trying to catch people like you doing epic work like this. And then we put the spotlight on you and say, you know, anyone who watches this, it's like, look, you could be doing this too. You may not do it exactly the way Taylor does,
accessible.
nor should you do it exactly the way Taylor does. You should do it the way you have and your personality shine. And so grateful that you shared with me this idea before we jumped on about entertainment in marketing, because let me just tell you, I don't know if you want to call it edutainment, like education and entertainment, or if you just want to say entertainment, but this kind of branding and marketing is phenomenal. And I am a big Elf fan. So when I saw this TikTok on the left, when I saw this video, if you haven't seen it, guess what, Jeff, we're going to play it. We're going to play it right now.
I love you. We'll call you in 5 minutes.
No, but buddy, don't, you don't have to call me, okay?
Good idea. You call me.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up now.
I painted a picture of a butterfly.
Right? You can't, come on. Does it get any better than that? That was amazing. Taylor.
You know, sometimes I look back and I can't believe this is my job.
I was like, they pay her to do this? Okay, now listen, this is well done because you've literally figured out a clip, right? Like you were able to find a clip of Buddy the Elf from the movie Elf, and then you voice over it. You're wearing this adorable outfit and you're drawing a butterfly while you lip sync. Is that fair? Do I get it right? I don't know all the TikTok terms.
Yeah, like a voiceover. Yeah, it takes a few practice rounds. Yeah.
So tell us, describe for us, what did you think of? How did this come to be? How did you do it?
Sure. So really, I mean, as somebody who maybe embarrassingly spends a lot of time scrolling through TikTok, what I do is when I'm going through and I hear a sound that I either think is funny or something that like, oh, maybe I could tie it in this way, I'll save that sound down for later. And then I'll think about like, all right, how can we weave some sort of a promo message in this context that's going to, one, speak well to the product, but not be too product forward either.
Right.
So for example, actually I just realized I keep the set that was in that video, like by me.
There
like,
it is.
On my desk all the time. I mean, I could have gone in front of the camera and said, I love this set from Liquimark. This is so helpful. Here are the features. It comes in this kit. I could have done that, but there probably would have been a lot of scrolling, right?
Right.
We probably would have lost people right away, and it just, right, it wouldn't be entertaining. And so a lot of the time, the product is not the main feature of what you're watching. It's just one of the three, right? So it's whatever the lip sync is, the actual sound itself, and then the subtle use of the product, so that you're not getting hit with anything too forward and it doesn't feel like a sale.
Because nobody really wants to watch a video about highlighters, right? Let's be real. But when we see this, we cannot not watch it. It's gold. It's so great. I mean, Jeff, I'm still laughing. Are you still laughing?
It is hysterical. And I have to add, okay, I'm having a conversation with an old friend. He's in the entertainment business, music business. And, you know, but he worked with me back like way too many years ago, managed my store. And I'm just bitching about stuff. I'm just like, I'm just saying some stuff. He goes, Jeff, he goes, you need to do TikTok. This is what'll fly, your personality. And I'm going, I don't think so. I don't think people want to see a crotchety guy bitching. I don't know, but maybe I might have to get tips from Taylor. I don't know. My wife watches TikTok there, and I don't want to get sucked in. I have it. I know I'd get sucked in. And what's the bit with the dancing? They all do the dancing.
I'm so happy that you mentioned this, Jeff.
What is that?
I would like to squash this for just a second too, because I think that what happened before the pandemic, TikTok was really for just Gen Z. I mean, young Gen Z, right? So it was a lot of, you know, people in their like tweens, early teens, and that demographic used it mostly for the dances, right? And then especially over the pandemic, it kind of broke open Pandora's box a little bit. And now all of a sudden we have, you know, major celebrities are all on, like, you know, we have artists, we have people who have built entire careers through the pandemic just on this platform alone, because they created these communities that have nothing to do with dancing or you know, whatever. Not to say that there's not millions of videos out there that with people dancing, that's certainly part of it, but there is every subculture that exists on this platform. So it's so much more than just that. I think it captures this short form of education, right? And of entertainment, more importantly.
Right.
And it just kind of wraps that up into short form, where we're so inundated every single day that this is kind of where we are now.
Well, listen, you have a formula, it works. So I'm just here to say something Jeff said about maybe Taylor could give us some tips. Well, you just did. Go watch these either on Taylor's TikTok, or you can watch some of the older versions that you've saved on Instagram, and check it out for yourself, folks, because seriously, the way you're able to position product without making it a commercial or making that the primary focus point, it's funny, it's hilarious, it's sassy, it's snarky. It's also, you're pulling it from kind of the pop culture that a lot of people know. Like I have to say, you crushed it. Literally, it went up in smoke. How about I say that? When you said counterculture and subculture, I was thinking of the other video on the right of my screen. Now, listen, for those of you who aren't aware, this is a growing industry. Is that fair to say, Taylor?
Yes,
So,
it's on fire, Jay.
It's on fire. I mean, it is like lit. I mean, it is hot. This is like this is like
smoking hot.
It is like an herbal remedy for when you're not feeling good. So the truth is that TikTok is so good. It's so funny and it's entertaining. And that was your whole point. That was one of the things that you talked about when we were trying to set this up, was this exchange. So you found a clip between Jim and Dwight, two characters on The Office. Now, The Office is one of the most popular sitcoms. And so to find something like that in the voices of those two guys, and then you had this, we're not going to watch it on this one. I'm going to leave that for other folks to watch. Go check it out. It's so good. And you tagged the Lincoln line in that. Is there anything else you want to say about that last one? Because I don't know how long you practiced, but it was boom, you nailed it.
Thanks. Yeah, so that one I felt silly saying or like doing it, but it was definitely a fun one. So first off, I contacted Lincoln Line because they've done such a wonderful job really getting the cannabis industry you know, and promo kind of more connected, right? They've been introducing that to our industry for a few years now. And knowing that that's something that, you know, is going to continue growing. Again, I can't stop with the puns, but it will keep growing in our industry.
Yeah, it will grow.
It's a growth industry.
And flower into a lovely business.
And
right,
you know, it's gonna be there for you. Just remember that. It's Taylor, but keep going. We interrupted you. Sorry for the puns.
Oh, no. So with that, I knew that the sound was trending at the time, and I'm like, this makes sense, right? This is a vendor who would definitely be on board with this. So they sent me some random samples. I set it up. I found that if you're going to do two different characters, to choose one character and to, you know, let the other one be out of camera. So like for that one, my voice was Jim, and then Dwight, I was just talking
as if you were talking to him off camera. Yeah, got it. That's so smart though.
So you can do it in that format. So you can only like, you know, have one set of lines, where you could play it as two different characters. And then with that, you just edit your clips so that you can play each, but then you change your angle. So like Brian DeBottis with Starline, I do want to give him a shout out. He has done a great job.
I was just going to ask you, is there anybody else you know? So yes, one more time. Who is it? Brian?
Oh, Brian DeBottis, Debo at Starline. He's been doing a great job playing two characters on TikTok. And he kind of makes these pretend conversations that somebody might have with their customer. And I think it's so smart of him to do that. And it's they're silly, but they're also really impactful. And you just like, you kind of get a coaching session into how to talk to your customers about their products. So I think we're going to start to see more and more people in the promo industry start to do that and get more comfortable.
I
in that.
hope so. I sure hope so, because I think
Yeah.
you could do what you did, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that you've used this native video in other places. So you're using
Mhm.
TikTok as your platform, you're
Yeah.
editing it there, right? And then
Yes.
what do you do
Yep.
then? You share
And
it?
then share it on, you can share it on Facebook, you can share it on, your Instagram, you can share it on your Instagram, just main feed on your grid, or you can do, you can pull it over and put it into reels. You could, like, I prefer to put it on my stories and then I add them to my highlights after that, so you can go back and watch later. I mean, there's a lot of places you can, I added one to LinkedIn a couple times just because it was a little bit more relevant to either, the job, or it had something to do with something very specific that I wanted to push on that platform. But I would say just be mindful of how much you put over onto LinkedIn.
Right. Good tips. And sure, listen, you don't have to be an acting major to make this happen. It will, it's
No.
not something that's going to be for everybody, but I love what you said, that others, and we invite others to do this. We think it's going to be, well, Jeff, let's put it to you this way. Jeff, you were a pioneer in video. I mean, literally. And Taylor, when I say the word pioneer, I'm not talking about old guys. I'm talking about like renegades. I'm talking about like, leading that position of video.
2006 is when we started,
Wow.
free promo tips, and really did lead the way in video.
And I see this, and what Taylor's doing is kind of,
This
they're
is
connected.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
I might need to, this is a topic for another time. I think there needs to be some TikTok training in the industry. And because it's tell me. Taylor,
I got it. TikTok training with Taylor. It's going to happen.
Oh my God.
it's a
So
side
much
gig.
alliteration.
Boom. Another division of ASB, I don't know. But I mean, okay, we're going to go long if I say more, but I mean, it sounds complicated, but people can figure it out, and there are places they can go to figure it out. And
Yeah, and you guys, not to go down a rabbit hole either, but I do have to say, so are you guys fans of Shark Tank? Do you ever watch that show?
Big fan
For
of Shark
sure.
Tank.
So Kevin O'Leary, he is the bald, kind of scary
Mr.
guy
Wonderful.
sometimes.
You know who he is.
Yes. So he has a famous quote from a few years ago saying, people come and ask what kind of college major I should have to make sure that I have a successful career. And he said, engineering. My second answer is engineering. My third answer is engineering. Well, during the pandemic, he has famously been requoted as saying, I used to say that the top three were engineering. Now I say it is people who are able to take the essence of a brand and tell a story in a social format. And I thought that was amazing. One, I mean, to hear him say that, not that he is the, end all be all for knowing what makes a successful person, but it is very important to consider that brands and leaders of those brands are recognizing it, not just in the promo industry, but every level
Correct.
of other companies all around us. So we're kind of entering this time where it's starting to be more and more recognizable that what we do every single day in the promo industry is super impactful right now, and that we need to capitalize on that right now. I also remember that quote too, because my little brother's an engineer and I'm a communications and media major.
So you hold it over him, don't you? You hold it over him. You say, yeah, engineering used to be important,
This
but
is
now
our time now.
it's now. I love how you said that, Taylor. Right now, as if tacos now.
Yes, right now.
Oh my gosh, that was so great. You shared some really, really important wisdom there. I know our audience and I know our listeners, and I know everybody, thanks to Promo Corner, is going to see this. It's probably going to go, what is it called, Jeff? Viral or trending? I don't know. I don't get it.
We need to make this go viral. Actually.
Are we on TikTok right now, Taylor?
My gosh, I think we are.
I'm going, see, I just left and then I came back. So I was just doing a quick little TikTok, and guess what? It's going to be up somewhere. So anyway,
I love it.
No, you know what we love? We love you. We love your energy. We love the fact that ASB recognizes that this is important. And this time right now, like you were just talking about, I want to transition to I saw and met these three amazing women, and I met all three. Thank you, Taylor, for introducing the other two we had already met. And I'm not bitter that you didn't stay for my education session. I was mostly excited that I got to meet two new folks who were new to the industry, because you know what? I didn't really want to talk about TikToks and dancing. I wanted to talk about other things. And so I am so glad that you, your audience, your team, I don't know if you've been given the charge in this or not, but I have noticed that you're surrounding yourself with younger, more diverse people. And I thank you for that, because I think our industry really needs to evolve. And when we say tacos now, we need to do these things now. This is one of the things that I think we need to do now. So tell me more about what's going on at ASB. Tell me more about your youth-driven purposes and the diversity that you're working on and non-traditional ideas. How's that all coming together?
Sure. Yes. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to talk about this team. So who you see in this photo here, these are our two newest team members. So on the left, we have Emily Jetner. She is our events manager. She's very talented, a lot of experience in what we need from an events standpoint, because so much of our marketing, events, growth, it all is really tied around events so much. So she is going to be present in the industry, as well as Simi Kasakwe. She is just to the right on that photo here. She is our public relations specialist. So she has been really instrumental in helping with the social media and just growth and what she wants to see as well, and learning kind of the American language and the industry language, and just, you know, how to speak promo, but also add her own perspective to it as well. So together with Simi and Emily, we actually have a few other team members too. So we have Ryan, Haley, and Zuzu. They are all on our team as well. So they are internal and external branding. So they're very talented graphic designers. And so they play a major part in, you know, the graphic and social media side of our business too. So it's really, how can we make things more relevant? How much more approachable can we get? How can we help explain who American Solutions for Business is? And also, how can we better advocate for the promotional products industry? So we just played a really big part in the promotional products workday.
Yes, that was like 2 days ago, right?
Yes. That was on October 20th. And so we collected selfies of our sales associates holding their favorite promotional product. And so we
like
had
this one?
Yes, like that one. Is that from Sweden? Is that the Tundra?
It is. You have an amazing eye. You have an amazing eye, Taylor.
So we took that opportunity to really maybe not be so central in being the face of it, but how can we help make other people more present in our social media strategy too? So between the 6 of us on our team, we're all kind of between the ages of like 26 and 33, 34. So we are right in that spot where we're all kind of in, you know, a similar age range.
I love that. I love that.
Thanks. And we all have different perspectives at the same time too. You know, we all have different backgrounds, different experiences, different strengths as employees and as promo professionals too. So it's really fun to come together and really just figure out, how do we want to lead the branding, the event side of the business, the marketing, everything that this crew is working on is just very exciting.
Oh my gosh, Jeff, are they having fun at ASB or what? That's not fair. You don't have a grumpy old man saying, "Get off my lawn, you kids."
You youngins. So, okay. So broadening it out, I think this is a really important topic about the age of the industry in general, you know, because there are a lot of people like, hey, you know, I'm older than I look, I think, but still kicking it. But the point is, you know, is this promotional product industry attractive to young people? I have a 25-year-old son. If you go, like, people go, is your son going to join the business? It's like, absolutely not. I mean, he's not going to touch the promo, you know. And I actually tell people, no, don't come into the industry. No, get a real job. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm saying this is the point. Okay, and Brandon's here with the hook. So, but the point I want to make is, it's really good to see that young people want to come in, and, you know, greater than even what we're talking about here with what you guys are doing, when people see that it can be a fun industry and the branded products are fun, and not only are they fun, you know, they carry a message and people use them all the time. By the way, this is my new favorite piece of drinkware.
Oh,
It is
that's such a
the
good
Purvis
piece.
promo show. Truly, my beverage of choice is passion tea, and that's what's in here. And yeah, I used all weekend. I'm feeling
The little shot of special something, if you know what I
a
mean.
little something there. Well,
So Jeff, I do have to say that I completely understand where you're coming from, and it's kind of that divide too. And I would say that you know, the leaders in this industry, especially, like, I think of my leaders right now, right? So Dana Zezo is my boss, and then Justin Zavadril is the president of our company. They have had the strategic foresight for quite a while now to build this more dynamic, younger, forward-thinking team too. And so it's not something that, you know, it's like, oh, young people are just going to enter the industry and save the day. It
No, you have
really
to
is
work.
about those experienced executives that sit at the top, who have been in this industry for decades, who can make that positive change and make that strategic decision for their companies.
Brilliant. That's what that you just said was brilliant. Taylor, we couldn't have done this without you today. We wouldn't have had nearly as much fun. We wouldn't have got to see you play Buddy
have
the
no
Elf.
fun.
It would have been fun, Jeff. We're not like dead. I have
Oh,
a
but
pulse.
not
I
this
like
kind of fun.
Oh my
God.
Yeah.
Listen, the fact that you need also to not only you and your team, but the recognition is there, right? The proof is in the work. And so that's why I say excellent job, brilliant branding. You had a purpose for all of this marketing. There's some strategic planning going into this. It's not just goofing off on TikTok. And I hope that people can really hear how smart and how brilliant and how important what Taylor said. And so that it'll apply to us and we can kind of really take that and run with it. So we are thrilled to wrap this up and to say thank you once again. Taylor Borst, you are a shining star in our industry. In fact, I think both of you have been shining stars, like rising stars, like.
Ooh, of course,
Yeah,
Brandon
Brandon.
is a 2021 rising star.
What? He is?
He's a young one. Yeah, he's one of the young ones.
Rising star.
Yeah,
Aw.
I just call myself a late bloomer. I mean, I've only been in the industry for 16 years, so no big deal.
I love it. I love it. Brandon, thank you so much. We're ready to turn it back over to you, my friend. So what should we do to wrap this baby up?
Oh no, I think this has been fantastic. You guys, it's so fun to have that age conversation because it's like walking on eggshells. The young people don't want to be called young, the old people don't want to be called old, but it's so much fun when you get somebody who's open to talk about it. And I think, as like Taylor said, as the executives start to become younger, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take the next generation of executives coming in that will actually make the major change, and our industry will make that change. I feel 100% positive that we'll get there. I know that we've always kind of looked at the promotional products industry as being a second career, but I think we're turning that around as we start to bring the age down. So, and Taylor is the one doing that, not me. So
Yeah.
No,
You both,
Brandon,
you,
we
Now
are
give
in this
yourself a little
together.
credit there,
Brandon, right there, that guy. So Brandon, thank you so much for saying that. And I just have to end on this from my side of the street. You know, being called immature for half of my life, now it's young at heart. So I'm loving it. I just can't wait to see what else is going on. And whether that's TikTok, Instagram, whether that's the entertainment style of marketing, the youth, the diversity, the non-traditional approaches. I mean, come on, I got a tacosaurus over my shoulder, right?
tacos, tacos up, baby.
Tacos
Let's
up.
get those tacos up, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is such a fun show to do. We love doing it. We love reading your comments. Keep it up. Let's make this go viral. I challenge you. I dare
Let's
you.
do it.
Let's do it. We can do it.
All right. Thanks, guys.